just won stakes, and that was as a 2-year-old. But it's one that people have been high on for so long. Remember before the Kentucky Derby, they're like, oh, here he comes. He's going to have that big, long move. Got put down about 6-1 before that race.
He had the right running style that typically wins the Kentucky Derby, a come-from-behind style. He is a Kentucky Derby winner for Sire Unbridled and a really good dam in Versailles Treaty. Shug McGaughey is a classic-type trainer, so he had all the tools. He just hasn't quite put it all together, and he's had some excuses. He's had some physical problems. He had a chip taken out of his ankle after the Kentucky Derby, and then he came up with a foot problem a little bit later on, but now it looks like he's kind of back to 100%.
No coincidence we're talking about Sarlin, because now we're going to talk about Sarlin's mommy. On this week's Full Patrol, we're going to go back in time just a little bit to the 1991 Alabama right here at Saratoga.
And it is Versailles Treaty, and she is full of run through the stretch. Versailles Treaty wins it.
That's pronounced Versailles Treaty in Kentucky. Earned over $1.2 million for the owner, Cynthia Phipps, a full-time mom now as a filly by Rahi. Happens to be a half-sister to Sarlin. They're registered at Babies R Us and Nordstrom, and registered with the Jockey Club with this name, Supreme Council. Look for this little one in 2005. It'll be bigger by then. The Full Patrol brought to you by Claiborne Farm. Claiborne has 13 stallions. See them all at claiborne.com. Back here at Saratoga, they call this place the Graveyard of Champions, even though in stakes races last season favorites won about 40% of the time. But the name kind of stuck for many reasons. One of the key examples found right now in our Long John Silver's Silver Memory.
Triple Crown winner Secretariat came into this race of Whitney in 1973, but he faced the Giant Killer.
Onion on the outside, and Secretariat on the rail up to challenge. They turn for home. There's 3/16 of a mile to the finish. It's Onion on the outside. Secretariat on the rail, stride for stride, head net down the stretch they come. Onion on the outside, Secretariat on the rail. An eighth of a mile to the finish. The leaders head net, stride for stride. Secretariat and Onion. Onion has the lead by a head. Secretariat on the inside past the 16th ball. It's Onion in front by a head.
Trainer Alan Jerkins defeated Secretariat twice, and he did it in '73 with Onion.
Takes us perfectly to Puzzlement. Puzzlement, the one with Jorge Chavez, and Kenny Rice has all sorts of comments about that one.
Yeah, Kenny, I do, especially after Randy was talking about that great upset of Jerkins, who became known as the Giant Killer. He has here in Puzzlement a horse that certainly likes this track. He's won 2 out of 3 here, won an allowance just 9 days ago. That was coming off a disappointing 4th in the Suburban. He is 3 out of 5 at this mile and an eighth distance, has never been worse than 3rd. Most of the veteran trainers like Jerkins will tell you a horse has to like the track here at Saratoga for many reasons. You can say that about a lot of places because the stakes races are so big here and the competition is so strong. You have a stellar field every time out in a high-graded race like this, like we have here today. So the fact that the horse likes the track a bit already, evident by those 2 victories, is a plus for him, and also being associated with the name Alan Jerkins in a big race.
Kenny, we talked a bit about evening attire and the whole dilemma about ready to run or not run with evening attire. What more have you learned since that?
Well, Kenny, I talked to Pat Kelly, who said basically what he said earlier today to Randy Moss. He was on the fence about running him. I talked to him just 10 minutes ago in the paddock. He said he really was still reluctant to run him. Obviously he is, but he was hoping that there could have been some rain this afternoon. He really doesn't like to see the track this way, and he said considering the track conditions and the fact that we're running in good company, as I wished him luck, he said we will need luck and then some today. He doesn't know for sure if his horse is going to like this kind of surface going against this kind of competition. Certainly a wetter track would be much better for evening attire, and Pat Kelly would be one of the few people here at Saratoga happy to see a downpour, which he did not get to see today, Kenny.
Well, that makes those of us who have evening attire in our exactas field just great. Thanks for that, Kenny Rice.
Confidence builder there for you.
So here are the. Do you see anything strange on it? Medallia should be the favorite.
Yeah.
But 4 to 5 is a little heavy considering Volpone really did handle him.
I think the odds should be a little closer between Medaglia d'Oro and Volpone. I mean, the last time they met, Volpone drilled him by 6.5 lengths, so that has to be taken into consideration. Certainly, it's the Frankel Bailey factor with the public.
One of those is our Bud Longshot. Let's find out who it is.
I'm Shug McGaughey, the trainer of Zarlan. I trained Zarlan's mother and all of his brothers and sisters, and he's by far the best. His mom, Versailles Treaty, was a very, very good horse. She came up here and she won Alabama on an off track. I've never been afraid to run him on an off track. Zarlan's an easy horse to be around. I bet something got nails me in the back I'm gonna be working. He's kind of showed a little more get up and go than usual here the last 3 or 4 days. He kicked me yesterday. John Velasquez is riding him. He's ridden him in all of his starts except for in the Brooklyn. Post position to him doesn't make a difference. I think the blinkers have helped him quite a bit since I put them on. His perfect scenario is we can get a quick pace up in front, maybe using some pace setters up where he can just sort of settle in and make us one quick run, and that would be exactly what I would like to see. Well, I can't believe he's 12-1 in the program, so give him a chance today as a Budweiser long shot.
Sarlin and the others getting pretty well loaded up. Let's run it right upstairs to Tom Durkin to call the Whitney.
And there goes Valponi. Shug McGaughey looking on as Sarlin stands poised in the starting gate in post position number 2. And Proud Citizen moving into line. Proud Citizen could be part of the pace factor here. Medaglia d'Oro always prominently placed. Here we go. Ready for the start of the Whitney Handicap. And they're off. Valponi not off particularly well. Not so for Medaglia d'Oro. And they're racing for the lead with Northern Rock to his inside and Proud Citizen right up there. So those three will scrimmage for the lead. Valponi is now fourth just outside of Saarland. Break of 3 back to Evening Attire, and Puzzlement will be the early trailer in the Whitney. Around the clubhouse turn here at Saratoga. Northern Rock is the leader, and Jerry Bailey has Medaglia d'Oro forwardly placed through an opening quarter that was solid, 23 2/5 seconds. Proud Citizen on the pace and running in third, and Jose Santos is a very good hold of Valponi, who's a little eager today. Valponi well held in fourth position, and Saarland is right on his tail. And they're followed by the gray Evening Attire, 6 lengths back to long shot Puzzlement as they continue down the backstretch. Northern Rock uncontested lead through a half, 46 4/5 seconds. Testing opening half mile. Northern Rock the leader. And Medaglia d'Oro sitting chilly in second. Valponi is now down on the inside of Proud Citizen. They'll have to find a way off the rail as they hit the far turn. Farther back, Evening Attire, just outside of Saarland. They're about 6 lengths for the lead. And as they approach the 3 furlong marker, Jerry Bailey has given Medaglia d'Oro his cue. They're coming to the neck of Northern Rock. The two of them heads apart for the lead. Proud Citizen is third. And Jose Santos is now asking Valponi. Valponi is in behind the leaders as the field turns for home. Medaglia d'Oro, Northern Rock, and Valponi appears on their outside. They're coming into the final furlong now. Northern Rock determined. Medaglia d'Oro confronted by his arch rival Valponi. Medaglia d'Oro holding on to that lead. Valponi took a bold run at him, but he couldn't get by. Northern Rock is third. Evening Attire, Puzzlement coming on late, but under the wire. It will be Medaglia d'Oro in a gold medal performance. He beats the Breeders' Cup Classic winner Valponi by 1 length, and it was close for third between Evening Attire and the late running Puzzlement. Well, Valponi was poised at the neck of Medaglia d'Oro, and he beat him by 1 length. And the final time here was 1:47 3/5 off the track record. A great performance.
Tom Durkin with yet another good call. You see in this, as he just described, Valponi got up. I mean, they were almost eyeball to eyeball, but Jerry Bailey had one more little move with him left to go.
It was the same thing that you saw when Valponi ran in the Suburban, except the horse he was having to deal with there was Mineshaft. This time, it's the other top older horse in America right now, Medaglia d'Oro, who ran an unbelievable race again. The 16th Grade 1 win of the year for Bobby Frankel, and Jerry Bailey continues to sweep our ESPN races. There's a look at Valponi, getting off about a length and a half slow there. I don't necessarily think that cost him the race, even though he was beaten only a length. He settled into a pretty good stride there and was forwardly placed already by the time they hit the first turn by Jose Santos.
Because Medaglia was always going to be up nearer the lead than was Valponi. Northern Rock looked like it might get away with kind of a steal of this race, but right about here as they hit the top of the stretch is where Medaglia is going by. Valponi tried to give him a chase, but just didn't have enough horse.
Medaglia d'Oro had been on the lead in his most recent couple of races, but you saw in his form from earlier in his career, he doesn't have to be in front. He can stalk just fine as he did there, sitting right behind Northern Rock. Had plenty left to hold off Valponi, and 1:47.69 is a solid final time on this racetrack. It still has a little bit of moisture.
Track record 1:47 in this one, and this was a track that had gone from muddy to good and then upgraded recently to fast. We got Jerry Bailey walking over right now, kind of a strange television cable experiment. We're going to give it a wing with. You got to yell, Jerry. Congratulations, Jerry Bailey. 5 winners on the day. Good win.
Thanks, Kenny. I was a little bit worried actually at the 3/16 pole. I looked over and saw Valponi. Didn't know how fit he was, but Bobby had him cranked.
You gonna go pick up a trophy now?
There we go.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Jerry Bailey coming by after 5 wins on the card. He has another race to run, you know. I mean, when you do that well and you win such a big race, do you go after your 6 or you just go celebrate with champagne and be in Cone?
He's very competitive. He's going to try to go after his 6. And, of course, he comes back with the Empire Maker and the Jim Dandy tomorrow with Frankel as well. And you had a good idea there to bring the jockey over here. That was your idea the whole time.
The hope also was to circle back and go for question number 2, but they kind of look like they're in a hurry. You know, they have some things to do. Jerry Bailey, Medalla de Oro, 4-5 unofficially, but we're going to post official real soon. We come back from Saratoga. Medalla de Oro has won the 76th Whitney. Saratoga, where Jerry Bailey, Medalla de Oro, just won the Whitney. First horse in history to win the Jim Dandy Travers in 1 year, go on to win the Whitney here at Saratoga. Jerry Bailey matching Pat Day's all-time Whitney record, 5 career wins in this race, and Bailey has won 5 times on the day. And if you want to be like the owner of Medalla de Oro, Edmund Gann, go to thegreatestgame.com. Find out about him to be a horse race owner.
Yeah, you know, we mentioned Empire Maker, but we got to give Ed Gann's Peace Rules a little plug too, because he could also win the Haskell with Peace Rules tomorrow.
This thing does now go official. Medalla de Oro and Evening Attire getting up there for 3rd. Kind of a steady run in the stretch. Didn't look terrible. Didn't embarrass himself. So maybe it was okay to go forward with this. Now going back to the start of this, Volpone definitely got off slow. It was mentioned from Tom Durkin as he called the race. But, Randy, you don't think it necessarily changes if he loses by length and lost a length at the start? You know, I mean, you don't just do the math that way necessarily because the race has to be run a certain manner.
It's a tough call. If it had thrown Volpone completely off his usual running style, you know, if he was like forced way back in the pack and he wasn't able to get up there in that stalking run like he likes to be, then I would have think it would have had a lot more effect than that. But he was able to pretty quickly recover and get a nice position. Stalk, he got through between horses, actually along the inside around the turn, and then he swung out between horses at the top of the stretch right there. He had a shot at Medalla de Oro.
Oh, absolutely. He was rolling on the outside. Medallas there in the red cap. Northern Rock, give this one some credit. Hung on for quite a while before finally falling off here. There to Medallas outside is where Volpone's making the charge. Really didn't get eye to eye. That was a bit of an exaggeration. Was just poised to get up there.
And the reason, you know, again, repeating, Medalla de Oro hadn't run since April the 5th. He was coming off of a 4-month layoff. What had happened after the Oaklawn Handicap, he went down in his stall at one point and he couldn't get up. He got cast over against the stall wall and scrambling to try to get to his feet, he stepped on himself and hurt himself.
If we confused you in any way or if we lied to you, go to ESPN.com, click on horse racing, get the full explanation of what happened today. Stay around. We're coming right back from Saratoga. Jerry Bailey's the man once more. He's taken Medalla de Oro to a win in the 76th Whitney. We're coming right back from Saratoga.
The road to the World Thoroughbred Championships. Powered by Dodge. This ESPN2 presentation of the Whitney Handicap is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. By Budweiser, the best things in life are the things that are true. Budweiser. By Citgo, we know you. By Long John Silver's new buckets of crunchy shrimp. Equibase.com, your official online source for racing information from entries to results and everything in between. Equibase.com is a service of Equibase Company, the thoroughbred industry's official database.
You know, Senator Hillary Clinton is here today. If she came by on a horse and did an interview, that would be something. But for right now, we go down to Kenny Rice. He's got the trainer of Medalla de Oro.
Bobby Frankel in a big stakes race in a familiar position here in the winner's circle. Congratulations, Bobby. Medalla de Oro now perfect 3 for 3 here at Saratoga. The first race since April. The foot certainly looked really good. Any worries about that seemed to be squelched as he turned for home?
No, he's been training really well, and I knew he was dead fit because we laid it into him a little bit. I wanted to win this race, and I wanted to win it more even after I read the article in the paper today where they're saying the horse is all hype and, you know, a little disrespectful to the horse. And he's part of my family, and I'm glad he came through.
There was a little, as you say, disrespect. Is that disrespect or a little kind of jibe or try to throw you off your game? You seem to win about every other graded stakes race.
I think there's a little jealousy involved, to be honest with you. So, you know, I got to expect that when you're there, you know.
Well, coming for home in this race, He was up for the challenge, and he did receive the challenge. Valpone is coming up on him, and as they come down the stretch in this.
Well, I thought for a chance I'm going to get beat because, but I know I had him fit, and he dug in real hard, and he was drawn away at the end. Jerry said he didn't ask him for his best until the 8th pole.
Well, you certainly get his best here. As you watch his stride here, how does he look to you?
Well, he's reaching now. He's a good fit. Jerry and Medaglia d'Oro are a great fit.
What do you think about now after this Whitney victory with him? Any immediate thoughts on Medaglia d'Oro? You just kind of kick back and think it out?
There's a few options, so I'll just think about it and see how he comes out of the race and everything.
Big weekend for you also tomorrow. You will be here for the Jim Dandy with Empire Maker, the Belmont winner. You also have Peace Rules running in the Haskell tomorrow. Let me ask you first about Empire Maker here in the Jim Dandy.
Well, I think Empire Maker, off of looking at the form, he has a little better chance than Peace Rules. They're both doing great. Peace Rules is doing great. It's going to be a very tactical race in Monmouth because there's 6 horses in the race. They're all they're close up in speed, you know, so it's going to be a jockey's race down there.
All right, good luck to you, Bobby.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bobby Frankel, who has a win already with Medaglia d'Oro, trying for 2 more tomorrow in both the Jim Dandy here and the Haskell. Kenny, Randy?
All right, thanks, Kenny Rice. The full order of finish real quick. Medaglia at the top, Proud Citizen at the bottom.
Frankel was referring to an article in the Albany paper this morning where trainer P.G. Johnson of Valpone kind of took a little shot at him and Medaglia. And ultimately, the horses are the ones that do the talking, and Frankel obviously pleased at the outcome.
Absolutely. As mentioned a few times, but it's worth it because tomorrow we got some headliners from Monmouth. Funny Side's going after it. From Saratoga, it's Empire Maker. It's all on ESPN2, 5 o'clock Eastern. Up next on ESPN2, 2002 Trick Shot Magic. The shots have been great in 2003, but nothing like 2002. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more information, go to ESPN.com. We'll see you.